Imagine waking up one morning to breaking news. Part of the United States is no longer American. A handful of states, fed up with political gridlock, cultural clashes, and economic frustration, have made a bold choice, not just to leave the Union, but to join Canada. Sounds unbelievable, right? But beneath the surface, real conversations are happening. Grassroots movements are growing. Deep historical and cultural ties with Canada are resurfacing. What once seemed like pure fiction is now inching closer to possibility. In this video, we explore 10 US states that could, at least in theory, break away from America and become part of Canada. Let's dive into the facts, the history, and the growing momentum behind this radical idea. Number 10, Maine. Maine shares a long and peaceful border with Canada's New Brunswick and Quebec provinces. Many communities in northern Maine already speak French, and there's a cultural kinship with Canada that runs deep. Historically, this region was heavily influenced by French-Canadian settlers, and to this day, the area remains connected through trade, tourism, and shared values. During political tension in the U.S., there's often a quiet joke among locals: if things get worse, we'll just join Canada. Number 9, Minnesota. This state borders Manitoba and Ontario, and has deep trade and cultural connections with Canada. With its love for winter sports, healthcare ideals, and friendly Midwest values, Minnesota aligns closely with Canadian lifestyle and policies. In fact, some studies have ranked Minnesota as one of the most Canadian U.S. states when it comes to values like community, environmental policy, and social programs. Could Minnesota ever consider crossing the border, politically? Maybe not today, but never say never. Number 8, Washington. Washington State and British Columbia already operate like twin siblings. Seattle and Vancouver are deeply connected by business, tech, tourism, and culture. Both regions are progressive, environmentally conscious, and increasingly skeptical of national-level politics. Some experts even refer to this area as Cascadia, a term for a possible breakaway bioregion that includes parts of the US and Canada. If Cascadia were ever to form, Washington would likely lead the charge. Number 7, Vermont. Small, green, and proudly independent, Vermont is no stranger to radical ideas. Did you know Vermont was once its own republic before joining the U.S.? Today, it's one of the most progressive and eco-friendly states in America, and it shares deep cultural and economic ties with Quebec. With many French-speaking communities nearby, a shared love for maple syrup, and political values that mirror Canadian provinces, Vermont often feels more north than south. In times of U.S. political division, some Vermonters have seriously discussed secession. Could a partnership with Canada be the next step? Number 6, Michigan. Michigan is more connected to Canada than most people realize. It borders Ontario, and major cities like Detroit and Windsor are practically neighbors, linked by bridges, tunnels, and daily trade. Millions of dollars in goods cross that border every single day. The Great Lakes region connects the two in geography and industry, while people on both sides share cultural ties. If economic instability hit the U.S., would Michigan be tempted by the stability of its northern neighbor? It might be more possible than you think. Number 5, Alaska. Alaska is isolated from the rest of the U.S. and shares a long border with Canada. Culturally and economically, many Alaskans already depend on Canadian infrastructure and transportation routes. From energy pipelines to wildlife migration, Alaska and Canada are deeply linked. Add to that a spirit of independence, and Alaska begins to look like a strong candidate for realignment, especially if the U.S. federal government were ever to withdraw support. Could the last frontier become Canada's newest province? Number 4, New Hampshire. Quiet, mountainous, and close to Quebec, New Hampshire has long enjoyed a peaceful relationship with Canada. While not often in the headlines, this state boasts a unique political culture that values independence, low taxes, and strong community. Cultural connections to Quebec run deep, and tourism between the two regions is constant. If local sentiment ever leaned toward a more Canadian future, the geography and culture are already aligned. Number 3, Oregon. Like Washington, Oregon is part of the hypothetical Cascadia movement. Its people are progressive, nature-loving, and culturally closer to Vancouver than they are to DC. Oregon's values around healthcare, climate change, and civil rights often reflect Canada's more than the rest of America's. As federal-state tensions grow in the U.S., many in Oregon have openly talked about the idea of independence or merging with like-minded neighbors. Number 2, Hawaii. Hawaii might seem like a long shot, thousands of miles from Canada, but don't underestimate it. Hawaii has a strong independence movement already. Some locals believe that the U.S. annexation of Hawaii was illegal, and have long dreamed of a sovereign Hawaiian nation. If Hawaii ever broke away, it could choose to remain isolated or align with a peaceful, progressive nation like Canada. It's unlikely, but the emotional and cultural foundations are already in place. Number 1, California. Yes, the golden giant. California has the world's 5th largest economy, and a political identity so distinct that it often seems like its own country. With massive trade relationships with Canada, progressive values, and frequent talk of Calexit, the idea of California seceding isn't new. In fact, several political organizations already push for a future where California operates independently or partners with like-minded global allies, and Canada, with its open arms and shared goals, would be a natural fit. So, could any of this actually happen? Maybe not today, but the idea isn't as far-fetched as it once seemed. The world is shifting fast, and as divisions deepen within nations, what was once unthinkable is slowly becoming part of serious conversations. These 10 states may never officially break away, but their cultural, political, and economic ties with Canada are real, and they are only getting stronger. If tensions ever reach a boiling point, the map of North America might look very different from what we know today. What do you think? Which state do you believe would make the first move? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if this made you think, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more eye-opening content just like this.